wrestling fans, and welcome to Universal Wrestling. This match will be one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Your referee is Wendell Burgess. Introducing, first, ladies and gentlemen, 230 pounds from Monterrey, Mexico, Arriba, Luis Martinez. Arriba! And his opponent, 290 pounds from Wausau, Indiana, Bob Golden.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this Louis Martinez is some kind of a wrestler. He's been around for quite a number of years, but he really is a fine wrestler. He's one of the most diligent trainers that we have in the wrestling industry. He does 5 miles of road work a day and does a lot of extension exercises, and that is evidenced by the physique that he has.
Okay, Lou, referee Wendell Burgess giving the instructions. There's the bell. Bob Golden in the black and one of the greatest Mexican wrestlers of all time, Arriba, Luis Martinez in the red.
Well, you know, excuse me, Buzz.
Go ahead, Lou.
You hit a note with me with Louis Martinez. You know, I've been down to Mexico many times.
2 arm drags. He's still fast.
By far, I think Louis supersedes anything we've ever had from Mexico. I've wrestled most of them down there, all the good ones. And Louis, the best, has come down the pike since I've been wrestling.
Well, he has charisma with the crowd, too. He's always been a crowd favorite. Bob Golden's a pretty big boy out of Indiana. 240 pounds, crisscrossing now, and a hip lock and a takedown. Nice maneuver by the great Mexican Louis Martinez.
Yes, his reflex is something. He's in there all the time, and he can anticipate moves because he's been there so often, and he watches their feet. He knows where they're going.
And Lou, one thing I want to remind our viewers that UWA means that the rules are going to be strictly abided by. Good move. Martinez in control now.
That was an old-timer's move. That was called a wing lock.
All right, Golden will try to come up to his feet. Louis going to step over and take him right down. I've seen him many times go into that short arm scissors off of that particular maneuver.
Right from that, right. He does it just like a ballet dancer.
The referee, Wendell Burgess, checks for any possible submission. The leverage now that Martinez has, the pressure points, the shoulder, and the wrists, and the elbow. So actually you're getting some pain there in 3 positions. Now to a straight set-down arm bar. Notice how, Lou, he's using all the leverage there on Golden. There's a head scissors counter.
Buzz, how do you like our fancy ring?
Oh, love those stars.
Isn't that beautiful?
We're going to see a lot of stars, too. Watches Martinez now. He will try to maneuver, and he does get out a nice kick out from a head scissors. Both men now in center ring. And he goes around to the rear and comes up with a toe hold, reverse toe hold.
That's a beautiful takedown.
Now we have almost a combination of the toe hold and the surfboard. We have a lot of pressure points here, Lou. The hip, the ankle, the toe, both elbows. This is painful. This could possibly be a submission hold.
Well, that Louis looks as if he's a man with 1,000 holds, and he's got about 6 of them on right now. Step over toe hold. Very painful. Used properly, it could be a submission hold or...
Oh, Bob Golden there draws a warning from the referee. Louis had to break there. Illegal tactics. That definitely is illegal as Martinez comes through the rope down onto the floor. There's a kick. You know, Golden had better be careful, Lou. If he ever gets Louis' dander up, the count goes to 5.
Well, Louis has a Mexican temper. He could really work him over if the adrenaline begins to flow.
All right, Martinez trying to get back on the apron. Golden right on top of him, and there's a smash to the jaw. Staggers Louis. Another one spins him around. And a kick. Chin lock right on the ropes, and it's a choke hold, too. And the count goes to 3. Golden knows just when to break there. One more count, he's disqualified. Well, Martinez bounced back. and returns the favor. That spins Golden around.
And Louis has a heavy hand.
There's a whip into the ropes. Back body drop, and wow, Golden comes down. That's 240-some pounds crashing to the canvas, and you can see Golden pleading for a little mercy, and he's not going to get much from Louis Martinez. That's one way to get him out to the middle of the ring. And the count got to 2.
You know, Buzz, the way he pulled him off of that rope illustrates the power that Louis has.
Yes, sir. He is probably in fine physical shape of any wrestler I've ever seen. Now the old Indian deathlock, Lou.
It's a little difficult to get, but Louis knows how to do it.
Not only is it painful, but you got to watch the shoulders. Golden trying to sink the sanctuary of the ropes now, and he is able to get over to the apron. Martinez being forced to break, but he's not going to be able to get out of this himself. He's got to have some assistance from the referee, the way those legs are locked.
Yes, once they get tied up in that manner, it's very difficult to get away.
Golden now stalling for time, but you know, Louis is a veteran. He's not going to be fooled by that. Referee Wendell Burgess tells him to back off, and I'll start the count. Count starts.
You know, Buzz, on occasion, I've been in a dressing room with Louis, and what a beautiful move. We work out so hard and so diligently, sometimes we leave most of our match in the dressing room.
Here's a rollover.
Watch this move.
Oh, he was able to get one shoulder, and he rolled Louis over. He's a big man. How? That'll ring the bells in the ears, Lou.
That certainly will do it.
That's the old possum stomp there. There's a smash to the midsection as Golden caught Martinez coming in. Forearm smash across the back, and you could hear it clear over here, Lou.
He lays him in pretty well, this fellow.
Very powerful man. There's a solid smash. Martinez off of the ropes with, whoa, did he ever deck him from left field?
He tried to ride with it, but he caught him anyway.
Headlock. He winds up and lets him have one. That spins the big man over into the corner and over to the ropes. Martinez right after him. Arriba! Oh, drop kick off of that.
Oh.
That's a difficult maneuver. He hasn't got very much room to do that in.
That Louis is something.
Here's a whip into the ropes. And he's got him in the old airplane twirl or the giant spin. Now the rollover and the count. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Louis is just a little bit too much for him. Buzz Benson will give you the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the time of 5 minutes and 30 seconds, using the airplane twirl and the pin, winner of the match, Arriba, Louis Martinez! Introducing in the corner, to my right, ladies and gentlemen, one of the great wrestlers from Texas, Amarillo, 220 pounds, the great Nelson Royal. And his opponent, 230 pounds, the Continental Nobleman from Sicily, Mario Leone. One fall till the expiration of our TV time.
Well, we get an opportunity to see Nelson Royal in action again. And as Buzz told you, a truly great wrestler. He's in there against Mario Leone. And Leone is in there with a very swift wrestler. Nelson is one of the fine wrestlers from Texas. Texas has produced many good ones. You know, Oklahoma, Buzz, is so close to Texas. It seems like some of those great Oklahoma A&M years ago and the Oklahoma Aggie, these wrestlers, they all seem like some of this stuff rubbed off on the Texans because they produced a lot of Olympic wrestlers. And Royal, of course, was like some other hungry guys that came in and had to make a living in wrestling. And but he certainly illustrates the ability that he's learned over the years.
Well, I'll tell you, I asked Nelson one time, what the toughest battle, he said a fellow Texan, one of the Funk boys. He said he loved to wrestle him, but he was a pretty tough customer, and when you think of Texas, you have to think of the Funk sometimes, I guess.
Yes, they do. The Funk's producer, the old man, was a great guy, Dory Funk Sr., but I think Nelson, with the world traveling that he's done, has pretty well surpassed anything that he learned in that area. He's today such a well-rounded out international wrestler that he could go anywhere in the world and do well.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's wrestled. He hasn't dodged anybody, Lou. He's wrestled all the big ones, and he has done quite well. As a matter of fact, with such maneuvers as that, that's the nip up there.
Only a real athlete can do it, and he loves to do it. He trains while he wrestles.
Well, you know, he is a qualified bulldogger in the national rodeo circuits, and when he's not, there's Mario Leone right there. What a horrible, I hope my director doesn't do that anymore. That'll frighten everybody. He's not the best looking man in the world there.
Oh, wait till I meet her.
There is a beautiful reverse and takedown, Lou. Very fast.
That Nelson is really a great wrestler. Yeah.
The only thing that saved Leone there, being over in the ropes, and Nelson gave him a clean break. And then Leone has got the audacity to complain about grabbing tights. He's lucky that Nelson didn't stomp him to death over there in that corner.
Well, under any circumstances, Nelson just seems to stick to his wrestling.
Leg dive and a step over toe hold, and Leone grabbing that top rope for added leverage. And the referee suspects something. Everybody here in our jam-packed studio telling the referee that he's grabbing the rope. There's a kick right into that muscle area. That'll cause a cramp. Very painful. Now he grabbed the ropes again. Nelson Royal, victim of this step over toe hold.
Nelson is a very successful businessman, you know. He owns a couple of Western stores in North Carolina. Has done very well for himself in this world.
He's going to have to favor that leg a little bit there. It received a few kicks into the muscle area. Grabbed a headlock. Oh, that's a new one on me, Lou.
That's one of my old moves. I'm going to have to get a little royalty from Nelson Royal.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I've seen you do that, Lou. There is Leone popping away, and I think that irritated Nelson. Nelson was trying to wrestle him. He says, all right, buddy, you want to get that way, I'll wrestle the way you want to. You know, Nelson was actually trying to be scientific with him. And Leone didn't want it, so Nelson Royal says, I can go any way you want. Front face lock, roll over, takedown, trying for, almost got the count of three. Leone was able to roll out. Look at that move there. What a maneuver.
He sure crawfished away from there, didn't he?
Very fast, Nelson Royal. Leone a little faster, only in retreat, however.
Yeah, he's pretty good at that.
Boy, they lock up, they smack pretty hard. Now Royal using his savvy. Bear hug by Leone, but Royal counters that by pushing Leone over on the ropes, and this nullifies the strength. What a solid wrap into the side of the kidney area. Solid smashes. Royal fighting back. This Leone, pretty mean hombre.
He's really laying him in.
Choking right now. Holds on to the last possible minute. Royal, forearm smash, and now they're trading forearm smashes. And the matter is who can take the most here. Royal punches his way out of the corner and drops Leone halfway across the ring. Leone gets up slugging. Now this has turned into a real pure six brawl now. Leone started it. Side headlock. Takedown. Royal rolls him over and will try for a possible pin here.
Royal had the balance to wind up on top.
Count got to one. Then Leone rolls up that shoulder. Now rolls him over again. Remember, Universal Wrestling. When it comes to your city, you'll see the greatest wrestlers. Right now, you're watching one of the great ones trying to get out of this front face lock by Mario Leone from Sicily.
Nelson does his sit-out very well with that front headlock on him. He's able to come up with a hammerlock. He's real good at that.
Well, the referee, Wendell Burchett, checking for any possible choke. Everything seems to be okay. He can get the 3 fingers around up there under the windpipe, so that means it's legal. Still, he has, he was choking, and on the break, he starts pounding away. Royal comes off the ropes. They swap punches. There's a whip out of the headlock. Oh, hey, there's a great Nelson Royal bulldogging maneuver.
That was a beautiful flying scissor.
Flying scissors.
Just a beautiful flying scissor. That Nelson really does this so well. There isn't anything really related to wrestling that he doesn't do well. He's really in there all the way.
Using the flying scissors, and winner of the match, Nelson Royal. Well, next match on Universal Wrestling will be one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Weighing in at 260 pounds from Hazard, Kentucky, Bob Watson. And his opponent, 318 pounds from Copenhagen, Denmark, Eric the Red. And the world's most knowledgeable manager, George Cannon.
Yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, George Cannon has a very, very competitive athlete in there. This fellow, Eric the Red from Copenhagen, Denmark, is really a competitor. I've seen this fellow wrestle all over the world, all over Europe, India, Japan, and he's done a great deal of winning, and it really isn't an accident. This fellow knows where he's going. He wrestles rough, but very competitively.
Well, Lou, we got a pretty mean hombre up there.
He's something.
His manager has not been known to be the nicest man either, that George I Am Right Cannon.
Well, George was a fine amateur wrestler and a wrestler as a professional, and begun to put on some weight, so now he's a manager, and he's done a very efficient job with Eric the Red, is all I can say.
There's the bell, and we're underway. Eric the Red wastes no time. Solid smash off of that side headlock. Notice how he maneuvers himself between the referee's vision, Lou. Into the turnbuckles head first. Bob Watson, the victim of Eric the Red, sometimes known as Eric the Animal.
He's pretty rough, pretty vicious fellow.
318 pounds of meanness. Elbow smash, and that dumps Watson hard. Has him draped over those top ropes there. Slingshots him right off.
He knows most of the answers, doesn't he?
Boy, I'll tell you, I'd hate to owe him rent. Again, using that rope to choke and then using it like a slingshot. Picks him up. Right through the second and top rope. Over the top rope would have been a disqualification, Lou.
He is a real blonde bear, this fellow.
There he is, Eric. Bob Watson struggling to get to his feet. That's not going to help him. Head first into the apron. George Cannon seems to be quite pleased with the situation. You can see in the lower corner of your screen a very stunned Watson trying to make it back in. I'll give him credit for being game. He's on the apron. I don't know what Eric said, but it didn't sound too nice, Lou.
No, while he's speaking his own language.
Oh, Watson caught the Big Dane. A knee to the midsection. Forearm smash. Ooh, that jarred the whole building. Cannon doesn't like this turn of events. Oh, right into your living room almost. And Eric crashes to the canvas.
Well, this Bob Watson is a competitor. He has a lot of courage because he's really had a working over, and he came back pretty well.
Boy, I'll tell you, I think Eric was more surprised than anybody else. Now Eric.
It looked like Eric had him on the run, but the tables have certainly been turned.
A little shocked at this situation. Now Cannon wants to get his man out of the ring. It's time for a little conference. Well, hats off to Bob Watson.
He certainly had the courage to come back. You must admire a young man like that.
The count goes on now as Eric slowly back up the stairs. He's received some instructions, Lou, from George Cannon, I'm sure.
I'm sure that he did. Well, George knows pretty well where he's going. He was a fine, as I said, amateur wrestler, and he really knows how to save his man and produce winners.
Everybody in this jam-packed You can see the crowd. They say no, 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 no. Eric says, I want to be friends. Uh-oh. You can't turn your back on anybody like Eric the Red.
It's amazing how fast the big fellow is. He moves like a middleweight at times.
Here goes a body slam. Wow, he bounces off of a solid body slam.
Fantastic amount of power there.
Going right at him again.
One hand, he muscles him up with one hand.
And he throws him. That's a throwing body slam, Lou. You really have to be powerful to do that.
Certainly do.
Watson's a pretty big man. Trying to fight back, he brings a couple of solid rights to the midsection. Forearm smashes across the back. Still smashing away, has him over in that corner. Now Eric reaches around, grabs him, headlock.
Yeah, he's working his nose over pretty well now. You know,
Few illegal tactics there.
This Watson's done some catching.
Elbow smash. Boy, he has a powerful one. And a solid kick to the back. Another kick.
That big fellow sure does pursue an advantage. Once he has a man on a run, he just keeps going. He gives no quarter.
Standing over. Cannon has given the issue to punish his man. Here comes George Cannon now.
There you have a small indication of why George Cannon is the world's greatest wrestling manager with the type of material he brings into the ring. Top wrestling, top professional wrestling, top professional wrestlers. George Cannon, the manager of champions. Remember that, Benson?
You just heard it from George Cannon. I'm not about to argue with him.
Well, you know, Buzz, that it sounds to be very boastful. But the fella is a sharp manager in spite of the fact they do some more unorthodox things at times.
Well, you know, when he's out of earshot, I used to say, Lou, that his mouth was as big as his body, and that's pretty big.
That's funny. It's true, though.
Okay, as we return to the action up there in the center of the ring, you can see that Eric the Red methodically wearing down Bob Watson.
He's chopping him down by degrees, Buzz. You're so right.
This is the old backbreaker.
He does a little different than anyone else.
That's it.
Takes a lot of power to do a thing like that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Buzz Benson will give you the results of the match.
In the time of 5½ minutes, using a knee lift and backbreaker, winner of the match, Eric the Red. Introducing, first, weighing in at 235 pounds from South Carolina, Tommy Seigler. And on my right, weighing in at 230 pounds, the toast of the island of Sicily, Mario Leone. And once again, your referee, Corsica Joe. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit.
Tommy Seigler is probably one of the finest athletes we have in the world today. I've seen him wrestle in various parts of the world. He hasn't done a lot of wrestling recently, but he stays in wonderful condition and a finished wrestler. This fellow wrestled as an amateur. He was real Olympic material, but he got into the heavyweight professional ranks and has done very, very well all over the world.
Hello, Lou Thesz. How are you?
Hi, Buzz.
Boy, we got a couple of contrasting styles here. Tommy Seigler, who prefers to wrestle scientifically, and then Mario Leone, who just prefers to do anything to win. Headlock and hair pulling, as you can see there on your screen, as our cameraman gets a good shot. Corsica Joe, former great wrestler. At one time, he and his brother were really top wrestlers. Corsica Gene, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Corsica Gene, yes. And Corsica Gene and Corsica Joe made a very aggressive, rough wrestling team, but they did a lot of wrestling. And he did his homework in Europe, again, as a freestyle wrestler, sometimes as a Greco-Roman wrestler.
Well, they're not going to get away with too much with him. There's a flying mare and a reverse chinlock. Hey, you know, this Mario Leone, he knows how to wrestle. And again, I'll ask you the question. Lou, why does a wrestler who has the knowledge resort to illegal tactics? Is it insecurity, or do they just want to make sure they win, or what?
Well, when you're in there with a fellow like Tommy Seigler against a man like that, they've got to pull all stops and do all they can to possibly win, because Tommy is a first-class competitor, and although Leone is an adequate wrestler, a good wrestler, Tommy is one of the top men in the country and in the world, perhaps.
Well, you just saw a good shot there of the reverse chinlock there. That's a legal hold as long as the referee can get his fingers on the throat. Now, they're definitely not Leone fans you saw. They're a little concerned about the fact that Tommy Seigler is the victim of this chinlock. You can see how the hands are locked there. A very difficult hold to get out of, right, Lou?
Yes, it is. Once you lock the fingers like that, why, you can really, really hang on. And the fellow knows wrestling well enough to go ahead and really put the steam on this thing. It is illegal, however. It is not illegal. He does not have a strangle.
You notice how Leone maneuvers himself. If he's going to do something illegal, he usually tries to get his body to block out the referee's vision. Now, Seigler is, if he can get a little, see, again, completely blocked out. Yeah, but I think Corsica, he figured something there.
Wow, he whacked in there. I could hear that here.
Yeah, but he walked into an elbow, but he was able to snatch that headlock again. There's a whip off. Solid tackle off the ropes. Leone's going to try it again. Leaps him. And a hip toss. Arm drag and takedown. And he gets that shoulder lock right there. I understand this Tommy Seigler spends a lot of time getting himself into good condition, is it right?
Well, he certainly does. And of course, what you see on the screen on your television set will show you what training does mean and what the results will really bring you. Sometimes you just got to work very, very hard to get some results like this, but he does it. He loves it, and he's devoted his entire life to conditioning, and that is what he is. He's a conditioned wrestler.
Well, he's coming off of those ropes right now, and he's doing a little, oh, that's one way to get a man down. Aye, aye, aye. And he's holding on.
Tommy's a little angry at this point.
Oh, hey, beautiful. Hey, here, this is the old
spinning toe hold.
Yeah.
Spinning toe hold.
Spinning toe hold. One of the Funks used to use that all the time,
Dory
right?
Funk Sr.
Yep,
Right.
there's the submission.
Well, that spinning toe hold, as we said, was perfected, developed by Dory Funk Sr., won a lot of matches with it, and developed two boys that got to be very fine wrestlers.
In the time of 4 minutes using the spinning toe hold, causing a submission, winner of the match, Tommy Seigler. Stand by. We'll take this time out, and we'll be back for more action on UWA Wrestling. On UWA, the world's greatest wrestling, it's time now for tag team action. This match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing, ladies and gentlemen, first, with a combined weight of over 600 pounds from American Samoa, top contenders for the World Tag Team title, ladies and gentlemen, Afa and Sika, the Islanders. And their manager, ladies and gentlemen, gentleman Saul Weingeroff. In the opposite corner, first weighing in at 270 pounds from the state of Georgia, Don Lambrick. And his partner, 270 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, Don Martin.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Islanders, these men are without question the finest Polynesian wrestlers I have ever seen. I saw these young fellows in Samoa while I was on a trip to Australia, and I was really enthusiastic about their future. Since then, why, they came to the mainland here, the United States, and they've done very, very well, and I think they're very fortunate in having Saul Weingeroff manage them. Gentleman Saul has been up and down the pike with several wrestlers, some rough wrestlers, and I'm sure that he has seen the light, and he is with two lovely people here, people that love the world, and the world loves them, and Saul is doing a great job with them. I think you will enjoy witnessing their tactics. This is how they train. This is part of the thing that they do.
Well, Lou, a couple of things that amaze me. Number one is gentleman Saul Weingeroff, the Samoan war ritual. They're ready for battle.
They got the toughest warm-up I've ever seen. I saw them do that on television the other day and cut the man's head, and that's when he really wanted to go. They have a lot of, just a lot of intestinal fortitude.
Well, now, Lou, I got a problem. When I used to commentate once before, I used to know which one was Alpha and which one was Sika.
That's a good question.
I'll tell you what, Lou, you talk, and I'm going to get gentleman Saul Weingeroff, and I've got to identify my wrestlers here.
I think that would be great. Thank you. These people from Samoa apparently have some foodstuffs in their soil, some minerals that we don't have. They have tremendous bone, a great deal of substance, a great deal of power, and I don't understand just how they can handle that much weight and move like a middleweight. They move so rapidly, just like a middleweight wrestling.
Lou, it's an unusual thing for me to be able to go over and talk to Saul Weingeroff, but that is Sika in the ring. Tag in now for Alpha.
Sika is the taller of the two then.
Right. He has a little wilder hairdo.
I was speaking of the tremendous bone that these people have. I watched them while they were training a couple of days ago, and watched them with 500 pounds on the bench, and they just seem to handle it with ease. But of course, the tendon strength goes along with the bone, and they're a couple of real horses, is all I can tell you.
Well, there's one of the great Weingeroff trademarks over the years, Lou. Tag in quickly, keep a fresh man in the ring, and keep your opponent away from the corner. Now the tag is made, and Martin comes in, and he's greeted with the same punishment.
Well, these Islanders would be much too strong for most wrestlers. Even if a man knew his technique very, very well and tried to keep them off balance, even if an error is made, they can overcome it with their tremendous strength.
Okay, there you have a legal tag, and again, Weingeroff has always insisted not to let one of his wrestlers stay in the ring too long, so they'll switch in and out quite frequently. They're exchanging hammerlocks there, and the Islander is mad.
Well, Saul is very well team-oriented, as you well know, and he uses a lot of good judgment. He's really a pro. He's been there and back again, been, as we say, around the horn.
Got a full Nelson here. Everybody here says, yeah, go ahead. Full Nelson. Wbbj, the referee, saying, no, you can't do that. Oh, he wants to. Full Nelson. And as Lambrick tried to come in the ring,
well,
you saw what happened.
He just used a slap on him there. Well, that was a pretty good reprimand.
That wasn't a slap. That was just a solid smash on the chest. Headlock. Really applying the pressure. He's got it clamped on pretty good now. Lou, this is where the cauliflower ear comes from.
They sure do. Well, my very dear friend and mentor, Ed Stranger Lewis, was the headlock king of the world, but these fellas have arms powerful enough to emulate him.
All right, now the Islander broke because of a possible choke. Picks him up, slams that headlock on him again. And you can see Lambert trying to reach out and tag his partner. Martin's in a lot of trouble right now. And again, the tag in is made.
Saul has them very, very well versed.
In and out.
Make a beautiful team. They really work in unison.
There's a takedown off of that headlock. Here's trying for, he's just too strong. You can see Martin trying to counter with the head scissors, and the Samoan just too strong.
Just a great deal of brute strength.
Alpha and Sika.
These are such beautiful people. I've been around these people and broken bread with them a time or two, and they're the most gentle, lovable people that I've ever been around. But of course, when they get stung in that ring, why they retaliate.
A little double teaming there, and Wendell Burchett warns Martin. Count got to 1 there on the Islander. Side headlock. Tag is made. Watch this double team. Wow. Solid judo chop.
Beautiful teaming.
They lock up. You know, Lou, I'm going to have to get them to have some identifying braces because I forgot which is winning.
You know, this must be a very frustrating thing for wrestlers to wrestle these people when they're speaking in their native tongue like Samoan and they don't know what they're saying, you know.
All right, there'll be some double teaming, as you can see in the corner there. The referee's going to try to break it up. And that is Martin doing the dirty work. He's holding on to the Islander. And as the other Islander comes in to try to help out, they really double team over in that corner. Saul is up. Referee was distracted. Now this is a rugged team. Don Lambrick from Georgia and Don Martin from Memphis. Straight arm bar. Pressure on the shoulder and elbow here.
They certainly have enough hair to pull, don't they?
Yes, sir. Saul Weingeroff, the gentleman. You know, he said that if he ever found some wrestlers that he thought could win without illegal tactics, that he would not allow illegal tactics, and he's keeping his word. Lou.
He found them.
They've got that Islander trapped over in the corner. Saul, he's getting a little bit worried now and has decided that he'd better instruct the other Islander. I can't understand, it's strictly Samoan. Meanwhile, Martin and Lambert are really double teaming. Whoa! Now the tag is made. That takes care of both of them. There's a whip into the ropes. There's that Samoan chop. A very devastating headbutt. One of the most devastating headbutts I've ever seen. Here's a press. 1, 2, 3. That's it.
And that is it. These fellows must have a head like concrete. I certainly don't envy their opponents. These fellows are very dangerous. I wish them a lot of luck. They're going to need it.
Using the Samoan headbutt, winners of the match, the team of the Islanders. UWA Wrestling continues now, ladies and gentlemen. This match will be 1 fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing in the corner to my left, one of the all-time great heavyweights in the world of wrestling from Italy at 245 pounds, the great Lorenzo Parente. In the corner to my right, 265 pounds from Tampa, Florida, Troy Graham.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have a rare opportunity of witnessing a very, very fine wrestler, Lorenzo Parente. I had the pleasure and a difficult task of wrestling him a time or two. He's a great competitor. He really knows his wrestling. Had a great amateur career in Italy, wrestled in South America, and he immigrated to the United States. Wbbj, fantastic move. There again is the evidence of having a combination of Greco-Roman and freestyle ability.
Lou, I have to correct myself. In our first match, I think I was calling Jack Graham Troy Graham, and actually that was Jack Graham in that first tag team battle, and this is Troy Graham here. They're brothers, and they're tough customers from down in Tampa, Florida. And he's in there against, like I introduced him, one of the all-time great heavyweights, the great Lorenzo Parente.
You were so right. He is great.
As a tag team wrestler or as a singles wrestler, he is one of the greatest. A lot of strength, great condition, Lou, and I know you're a great student of staying in condition.
Well, as I said, as you were getting out of the ring, Buzz, I've wrestled him a time or two, and he's a great competitor. Since then, we've become very friendly. I've broken bread with him several times. The only thing I've got to watch with Lorenzo is that on occasion, I've got to get away from Lorenzo's place and get away from the table because he overfeeds me.
Well, you have to say Italian bread because naturally in a restaurant like he has, it has to be an Italian restaurant.
That Italian bread called spaghetti is pretty fattening.
Okay, now, Lou, there's a good shot of Parente, and he has almost a grapevine here, isn't it?
Yes, it's a variation of a step over toe hold.
Now he brings his leg down across that thigh area, and you know, something like this can get you a Charlie horse in a hurry.
Yeah, you can throw the elbow in from that angle, and it can be very painful.
Some hair pulling there by Troy Graham. He got away with it. And this kind of irritated Parente, and he draws a warning from Wendell Burchett about using the fist. And then Wendell immediately goes over and warns the man from Florida about using the hair pulling. Now Parente walks into a solid kick and a smash off of that headlock. Hey, this Graham's pretty tough customer. Ooh, Parente really hit those turnbuckles.
That fellow Troy is a competitor.
Now here's Graham coming down, bringing that 265 pounds right down on Parente. There's a solid forearm smash. Parente says, you want to throw a forearm smash? Did you see that, Lou? Literally lifted him right off of the canvas.
That Parente is some kind of a powerhouse.
Now, Graham, he's a veteran. He's kind of stalling for a little time here now. That last one really kind of, as I can use the expression, rung a bell or two.
I can imagine.
Yeah, boy, Parente grabbed that wrist lock and comes down.
I know it could be broken very easily that way.
Now he has a chance for a hammerlock or a whip, just like you saw, and now he goes down, working on that wrist. Pressure points here are the shoulder, elbow, and wrist. All of them being turned the way they're not supposed to be. Uh-oh, Graham rolled him over. He may have grabbed some hair. And Wendell Burchett saw him this time, and there's the break. He got away with it 2 or 3 times, but our capable referee caught it that time.
That Lorenzo is really a compact fellow. Take a good look at him. He's not very tall, but he has 245 pounds wrapped up in that frame of his, all muscle.
All right, now you can see Graham stalling for some time. Parente cautiously goes in, has him over in that neutral corner. He's going to whip him out. Bam! He landed head first into that center turnbuckle covering.
Well, with the power that Lorenzo threw him, he lost control of himself.
Now they lock up. There's a takedown off of a
double wrist lock.
Now head scissors. And Parente trying to kick out now. Parente will try his best to kick out, and of course Graham will try to maintain. There's Troy Graham.
You know, Buzz, off of a double wrist lock, the natural thing to do is a head scissor a fellow, and it's nearly impossible to stay away from the head scissor when you get wrist locked like that.
There, you see, he just used the leverage and just popped right out.
He's a finished wrestler.
Side headlock by Parente. Whip off. Nice tackle. Oh, thrown. I like to see those tackles thrown like that. I really like to see them thrown like that, Lou. I understand that Parente has been known to play a little football. He's got Graham over in that corner. Flying mare, neatly executed. Oh, there's that guillotine, as they call it. And there it comes again. Parente trying to get up. Graham Solid right hand. Parente's coming. Oh, what a forearm smash. That's the way you're supposed to throw, man. That's legal.
Well, Parente knows how to use the ropes.
And the fans say, go at it. Ouch. That's the best way to describe that one. Parente really has the following here in our studio. Now he picks up Graham. Good body slam. And you can see that takes a lot out of you, especially a man this big to be dropped like that.
And that took the starch out of him.
Good solid smashes, although they have slowed up Parente. Head first into the turnbuckles. Hey, boy, this Graham's a tough cookie, isn't he?
He's right in there all the way.
Flying mare. Parente, the victim of a flying mare. That knee across the Adam's apple. He's going to pick him up. Kick to the ribs. Solid tackle. Boy, Parente throws about the finest flying tackle I've seen.
He's beautiful off those ropes.
Knee lift. Another knee lift. Wendell Burchett warning about the use of the hair. Looks like an arm beal. There it is. Wow, did he hit? Hey, there's a drop kick. Hey, he throws those drop kicks like you do, Lou. Now, what do you call this?
Aha, that's a really unorthodox stretch. It's another form of an abdominal
I'll have to find
stretch.
out what it is.
That Parente is some kind of an athlete. I really admire the man. He moves around like a middleweight, this guy. Beautiful athlete.
In the time of 7 minutes, winner of the match, Lorenzo Parente. Lorenzo, I need to know the name of that hole. I've never seen that.
The Olympic stretch.
What was that again?
The Olympic stretch.
Okay, thank you. Using the Olympic stretch, once again, the winner of the match, Lorenzo Parente.